Okay, we're finishing up the 3.2 notes, and this is page 4 of the Math 31 3.2 notes. Okay, so we're going to distribute in this problem. You can see there's parentheses with the multiplication outside and a subtraction inside. So that's going to take us to 6m minus 5, or minus 15, excuse me. And then that equals 4m minus 39. Okay, there are no fractions to clear, so we're going to skip that step. And we'll go to the gather step. Gather all the variables on one side. So we have 6m minus 4m. Notice that the 4m comes over and changes signs. And we already have a negative 39 over here, and same thing as before. When you bring that negative 15 or that minus 15 over, you have to change the sign. Okay, we've done the gathering step. Simplify, we get 2m over here when you combine those. And on the other side, you get negative 24. And finally, you divide by 2 on both sides. So that takes you down to m equals negative 12. Okay, next one here, we're going to distribute again. Let me get rid of all the check marks I have up at the top here. And let's distribute the negative 1 that's in front of the parentheses. So we have a 15, and a negative 1 or a negative sign is distributed. And here's where it gets tricky. A negative times a negative is positive. All right, we're going to gather. There's no fractions to clear. We've distributed, but there's no fractions to clear, so we'll skip that step. We're going to gather like terms. So I'm going to bring the x's over to the left and everything else that other direction. They'll change. The ones that are moving will change signs. Okay, just to give you a little bit of a heads up on how that works here, this plus 3 is what we're trying to get over to the other side, and you do that by subtracting 3 on both sides. On the left, it simply disappears or cancels, and on the right, to balance it, you'll have that minus 3 over there. Okay, the left side is now ready to simplify. We've done the gather step. We've done the gather step, and now we're doing the simplify step. All right, on the left, you get negative 6k, and on the right-hand side, you get negative 3 right here. Minus 3 more is minus 6, or negative 6. And we'll divide. So we've simplified, and now we're going to be dividing. Divide by whatever is in front of the variable, which is negative 6. Cancels off and gives k equals 1. Okay, the next one here, there's nothing to do at the start on the left side. But when you distribute negative 4 across the parentheses, you get negative 4x, and then negative 4 times negative 2. And the minus 3 is tacked on there. There's no fractions to clear. Once again, we're skipping that step. I'm going to bring that variable to the left and this constant number to the right. Don't forget to change the signs when they switch from left to right or vice versa. Now the left-hand side here simplifies to 6x, and the right-hand side simplifies to 0. We'll divide both sides by whatever is in front of the variable. So here x equals 0 is the answer. Okay, so we've got a reference chart here. It's already filled in. I'm just going to remind you of just these different phrases that cause issues. All right, so subtracted from is a reversed subtraction. So you notice that even though the sentence has a 7 at the back, the mathematical sentence has a 7 at the front. Okay, the ones in dark are reversed or bold, so we'll have a couple more of them along the way. Okay, triple the sum. Now the sum here is the number plus 5. That's right here. But we're supposed to triple that whole sum. So it's 3 times that x plus 5 amount. And you'll notice you have to have parentheses to do that one correctly. Okay, the next one here is the difference of negative 4 times a number and 2. With difference and sum, you're looking for the and. So we're going to put the difference or the minus sign right in front of the 2. You can see it down there. And negative 4 times the number is the lead part, and 2 is behind the minus sign. Okay, the quotient means division. I'm looking for the word and later. Sure enough, it's way down there. So this stuff here is supposed to go on top of the fraction bar, 5 times the number, and negative 3 is supposed to go underneath. Okay, we have a reversed addition here, the product of 4 and a number, and then added to 75. The 75 is at the back of the sentence, but the front of the mathematical sentence. This is a reversed addition. And then up here, the product means times, so we're multiplying 4 on the number, and you can see it right here. Okay, a number x subtracted from a number y is just a reverse subtraction. If you just literally went across here in the order stated, you would think that it's x minus 4y, but it's not. It's a reverse subtraction, so you have to make sure you get it in the right order. Y minus x is correct. Less than is also a reversed operation, so this 11 will go behind the less than sign, or the less sign. Less than is a minus sign. A lot of people will put this instead. That is not less than. That is less than. They're really close to each other. Okay, in front of the minus sign, you're going to do triple the sum of a number in 5. So you'll see how that's written there. This is the sum of a number in 5. This is triple the sum of a number in 5, and we want 11 less than that. 11 less than, again, reverse subtraction, so you can see the 11's at the back. Less than the sum of triple a number in 5. We're adding triple the number and 5, the way that's written. Okay, and these are pretty subtle, which is why I gave you this catalog of ones to compare with. All right, English phrases that indicate an equal sign. All right, is equal to, is the same as, often it'll be the verb is, or its past tense, was. Yields or gives, both indicate equal signs. In addition, sometimes you're expected to know that certain quantities are equal. So for instance, in a rectangle, the opposite sides are equal length, and you're just expected to know that. Or you might have some vocabulary that comes into play. The word supplementary means that you're expecting the angles to equal 180 when they're added up. So let's do a couple of these. We're going to find the equal sign first. Kind of breaks the job up. And it equals 9, it says. Now we want the quotient of a number and 4. Quotient is division, and it goes where the and is. All right, the next one is the difference of twice a number and 13 yields 7. Find your equal sign, the yields in this case. Often it'll split your work in half, kind of chunk your work into smaller pieces. The difference of twice a number and 13. Okay, difference means minus, and that minus will go right there. So twice a number and 13, the difference of those numbers, or those values. Okay. Negative 6 times the sum of 5 and 4 is negative 54. Here's your equal sign. Negative 6 times the sum. Well, the sum of 5 and 4 looks like this. That's the sum of 5 and 4. I'm supposed to say negative 6 times that. So if you'll think about that, that's 9 times negative 6. Sure enough, negative 54. All right, find the equal sign. In this case, and I misspelled it here, it should be gives. Put your equal sign there, 11. And it says 3 less than twice the sum of a number and 5. So here, what do we got here? 3 less than, backwards subtraction. So I'm going to fill in this part now. Twice the sum of a number and 5. There's the sum of a number and 5, and we want twice that. All right. Now I'm going to get rid of the underline that I was just using to help you see where I was looking. Okay, 3 less than the sum of twice the number and 5 was 11. That's just the past tense of is, so our equal sign is right there. And we want 3 less than, 3 goes behind the minus sign, the sum of twice the number and 5. So sum, and we're going to be adding some stuff here, twice the number and 5. Okay, there's a chart in your book, page 193, that will help you with, it just summarizes all the English phrases that go along with the operations plus, minus, times, and divide. And you can look in the book also for the phrases that go along with equal signs. And that does it for the remaining pages, pages 4 and 5 of your notes.